Hello, I'm Vicky Lord, and welcome to this video on how to change your world. I got introduced to this wonderful life of imagination back in 2016, and I was like, where has this been all my life? I didn't even know that imagination was so powerful. I always dreamed of this big life, but I didn't know that I could imagine it or imagine what it is I specifically wanted. So I'm going to share with you today on how to change your whole world. And if it's one area of life or it's multiple areas of life, this will work for you. So I'm so excited to walk you through it. Through life, we have these areas of change. We'll realize that one time we'll be like a little child and a toddler, and life will all be about learning how to walk. And then we go through life and we become a teenager, and life is just about how we look. And then we go a bit further through life and we have children and we grow up a bit. We realize life has responsibilities. And then we get a bit older and we get to be in our 40s, and then life becomes about feeling and meaning. And this is who I want to talk to today. Women in their 40s who want to feel more in life and create more in life. And I've got some tips for you to do that today, three of them that will change your world. And I wanted to give you a bit of background first about how to create change in your life. We have this body that we live in right now, and we've got up here, which is called the brain. And in the brain, we've got the cortex, which is the very front of it, and it's 40% of our actual brain. And that means that if our brain's this big, 40% of it is imagination. It's imagination. And it is an untapped skill that people have either not been made aware of, or they don't know how incredible it actually is. And we can actually visualize the life that we want. And when we can visualize it, then we can put a plan in place to actually bring that to happen. So this imagination part of our brain can work either for us or against us. And it can also keep us stuck in the past, or it can help us to create a new future. So what we want to do is we want to see this. Our duty is, with our imagination, being the captain of our ship to guide our way, or the captain who's on the driving seat, you may have heard in the car. And this is going to guide our way. So our job is to work with our imagination and our intelligence. And we do this by noticing the patterns in our life, because we are creatures of habit. So if we want to create a whole new us, then we need to create a whole new pattern. And we do this through three aspects which all come together as one. First off is our mind, which I just shared with you. And our mind is what holds our beliefs and our view on life. And then we've also got the emotional body, which holds a lot of the emotional needs that we have. And then we've also got the physical side of movement. So when we want to create a new path for ourselves, so say that you've got an area of life, we'll use career, for example, that you've been doing the same thing day after day after day. So you may have been a cook, and you're a cook when you're 19 and you're still a cook when you're in your 40s, and that needs to change. You need to create a pattern interrupt, because if you're doing the same thing day after day after day after day after day, that's a pattern. And so what we want to do is break the pattern of the same thing day after day after day after day after day. It gets a bit boring, doesn't it? Even just hearing it. So the way that we change this for ourselves is we activate our imagination. We think about ourselves, about what you would feel. So if we're using career as an example, think about what you want to feel if you were to create the pattern interrupt, and what's the new thing you want to feel. So we'll use wealth for this example. So say that you've got the identity in your body that you're either a cook, or you've got the identity in your body that you're just a secretary, or you've got the identity in yourself that you're just a shopkeeper. So you've got this reality. Yeah, you're doing that, but what would it feel like if you, like, when What would it feel like when you're this new person? So the new person, for this example, is a wealthy woman who drives a Porsche, not a cook who has to catch the train to work and lives a life of the same pattern day after day after day after day after day. So, what would you feel as the new you? And that's the feeling that we want to, the new feeling that we want to create as the new pattern day after day. So, to do this, we activate our imagination, and our imagination will go right through. If we follow these 3 steps I'll give you right now, if you follow your imagination, so the imagination is I'm a wealthy woman, I'm free from a job, I get to impact the world and live this life of cruising the beach. Whatever it is for you, and in this moment, I want to let you know that it's okay for you to have your very own goal. You can be selfish here. We're taught a lot to care about other people, and we do care, but this is something special for you. So, what do you want in this moment in time? So, imagining that and send your imagination right through your body. And this is where the 3 tips come through. The first one is to consciously choose the body language of the wealthy woman driving a Porsche. Feel it in your whole body. And, if you're walking like this into work, what's the new posture you can do? You can shape it up, roll your shoulders back, and feel fantastic being you because you know that your imagination is just around the corner. So, with the imagination and the posture, you've sent your imagination down through your posture. That's number one. Number two is to breathe like you are that right now. And a lot of us do shallow breathing, which means we're just breathing up here. But what we want to do is we want to breathe right deep down to the depth of our being. So we go, and we send it down to our gut instinct. So the imagination sees a totally new, you're breaking the old pattern and you're creating the new. Your imagination sends it down into your gut instinct. And so breathe that breath of life into the gut instinct so that it knows where you're going and it's going to break the old pattern. And then we want to do something really cool. So now that you've got your posture in place, you're breathing the new you into your gut, into the gut feeling. So you feel the new you. We're going to create this beautiful grounding in ourself, and grounding is being connected. So we do this. I do this personally by walking around without any shoes on the earth, because I think the earth knows the energy that we need. So earthing is one of the quickest ways to feel happiness in your body. And so with your beautiful posture the way it is, and your breath of life and the gut instinct, and walking on the earth, knowing that it's in the universe's hands so that you can move forward. And this is how we're going to reprogram what we've been stuck in the past. A lot of people don't have the courage to dream or even believe that they can have this extra special life. And if you are in a hardcore job or in a job that you've been in for a long time, this video is for the entrepreneur who dreams of more. There are a lot of people out there like that. I know that there's also a lot of people who are not like that. But if you are the dreamer of your dreams, then you can totally change the pattern in your life. And one of the tips that I haven't given you in them 3, because them 3 that I just gave you was about feeling the whole new you and breaking the pattern of belief and feeling in your body. But there's one more key that's really important, and that's to take action in whatever area it is for you. So whether your goal was to be a wealthy goal, it's to do some kind of wealthy action. If it was to have a health goal, it's to do some kind of healthy action, going for a walk, going for a jog, doing some stretching exercises. If it was to have a more meaningful relationship, is to read a relationship book. So taking that action for the desired result. So you actually got like 4 tips today. 3 was for feeling it in your body, and the other one was for taking the action and getting the skill set for your desired result. So creating change in your life doesn't have to be so difficult. If you do want to go further and create more awareness and the feeling it in your body, then I do have a course called Journey of Self, and it's all about how to create this life of fun and peace from the inside out. Because once we can have it on the inside and then we can also have it around us, that's when life is really meaningful. So thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you in the next video. If you found this video meaningful, subscribe for more.